11, and welcome to our lovely Central London Community Sunday service. So, yeah, I've been away for, basically this summer. I've been around and about. My summer's been quite eventful, actually. I've been from Korea to Chonbo for 40 days, to the UK Harp Workshop for 10 days, which ended about 5 days ago now, 4 or 5 days ago. So yeah, I've had a really, really eventful summer, and I'm pretty sure everyone else here has had a really eventful summer, either be it going around, going abroad, or just at home, staying with the family, and just, trying to create that lovely culture, that lovely environment. So I'd first like us to rise and say hello and greet our Central London family. So let's say hello and greet each other for a few minutes, shall we? Okay, so if we can make our way back to our seats again, and please feel free to fill up from the front. I know we're starting not so large at the moment, but of course we are going to get larger. And so let's start filling up from the front and make ourselves feel nice and cozy, right? So if we can move closer to the front, and let us, without further ado, invite up our band, who are going to lead us in a few opening songs to raise the roof and lift our spirits. So please let's invite up our band.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So we're going to start with a few songs this morning, if you'll rise. Our first songs will be We Are One in the Spirit and By the Spring of Life. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. And we pray that our unity will one day be restored. And they'll know we're God's children by our love. By our love, yes, they'll know we're God's children by our love. We will work with each other. We will work hand in hand. We will work with each other. We will work side by side. And we'll guard each man's dignity and save each man's pride. And we'll know we're God's children by our love. By our love, yes, they'll know we're God's children by our love. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. And together we'll spread the word that God is in our land. And they'll know we're God's children by our love. By our love, yes, they'll know we're God's children by our love. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. And we pray that our unity will one day be restored. And they'll know we're God's children by our love. By our love, yes, they'll know we're God's children by our love. marching to the blessed land of Canaan with delight. We're leaving all our heavy burdens here. At last we are released and free from being slaves to sin. We're coming to the blessed spring of life. Coming to the spring where living water flows. In glory we'll be living evermore. Going to the land where freely flows the spring. In glory we'll be living evermore. Oh, guide us with your pillars, Lord, of fire and of cloud. Oh, give us power to follow with our lives. The moment that we cross the Jordan River is at hand. We're coming to the blessed spring of life. Coming to the spring where living water flows. In glory we'll be living evermore. Going to the land where freely flows the spring. In glory we'll be living evermore. Our thirsty hearts receive with joy the manna from above. The precious food will always be our strength. So if the future finds us lacking, we will not despair. We're coming to the blessed spring of life. Coming to the spring where living water flows. In glory we'll be living evermore. Going to the land where freely flows the spring. In glory we'll be living evermore. Coming to the spring. Coming to the spring where living water flows. In glory we'll be living evermore. Going to the land where freely flows the spring. In glory we'll be living evermore.
Right, let us now offer pledge number 5. Our family, the owner of Channel Gook, pledges to strive every day to advance unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. Right, please join me in a prayer. Dearest most beloved heavenly parents and true parents of heaven and earth humankind, Father and Mother, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us all to gather here together now as brothers and sisters of this community, really ready and willing to hear your message given to us by our dear sister Tina Coombs. And I really pray that you can speak through her and that our hearts and minds can be awake to receive your message. I really pray that you can be with those that are not here with us at the moment, that maybe are at home or that are still journeying here to Central London, that you can guide them on their travels and really be with them at home or wherever they may be. I thank you so much for everyone that is here and pray that you can bless them. And I'd like to offer this prayer now on behalf of everyone here in my name, Kieran Hoyt of the Hoyt family, Central Blessed family, Jew. Announcements, yes, of course. So coming up in the next few weeks, as usual, we always have our prayer meetings at the Hayashi's home on Mondays from 10 a.m. Dr. Mike and Fumiko Balcom always welcome us to join them on their weekly prayer meetings at Wednesday, 7 p.m. British Standard Time here. And I believe it is on Zoom. So if you guys have the Zoom app, or you can even use it on your laptop, on the internet, Zoom, we are all invited to join them on their weekly prayer meetings on Wednesdays. We have the Young Adults Retreat coming up very, very soon, on the 6th, from the 6th to the 9th of September. So honestly, I believe the applications are closed, but if there is space, if you still message Stephanie Birukum or Jason Birukum, maybe you could sneak on there if there are still any young adults who still haven't registered. I guess it's still possible. That is at the Isle of Wight. We have the annual meeting of European Blessed Families Department on the 12th to the 15th of September in Italy. So that is 170 euros per person. So that's probably about 150 pounds or something like this per person. We also have the European 24 age and up, 24 years old and up, matching support workshop for second gen. That is on the 26th to the 29th of September, and that is at Slovakia, Prasnik Dubrava Resort in Slovakia. And we have the UK properties consultation, so that's been going on. People have been called or messaged or emailed asking if they could take part in this properties consultation survey. There's still a vacancy on a job, a full-time business support officer here and at Lancaster Gate HQ. They're looking for someone to fill that role. So if you know of anybody or you have great business acumen or skill, please get in touch to help us out with that role. Any other announcements? I guess not. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Okay, so coming up after these next two songs, we have our message from our sister Tina Coombs. So through these songs, let us prepare our minds and our hearts to be able to receive this message on topic of benevolence, not violence. So this is something that I think is quite relevant for us, and it's going to be amazing. She's already shared a little bit with us, and I really think it's going to be something that we are all going to be inspired from, should we say. But yeah, so let's now invite up the band to lead us in two more songs before our message. Thank you.
Okay, please stand and join us in our next two songs. Let our praise. Let our praise be your welcome. Let our songs be a sign we are here for you. We are here for you. Let your breath come from heaven. Fill our hearts with your life. We are here for you. We are here for you. To you our hearts are open. Nothing here is hidden. You are our one desire. You alone are holy, only you are worthy, God. Let your fire fall down. Let us shout. Let us shout, be your anthem. Let your now fill the skies. We are here for you. We are here for you. Let your words move in power. Let what's dead come to life. We are here for you. We are here for you. hearts are open, nothing here is hidden. You are our one desire. You alone are holy, only you are worthy, God. Let your fire fall down to you. To you our hearts are open, nothing here is hidden. You are our one desire. You alone are holy, only you are worthy, God. Let your fire fall down. We welcome you, praise. We welcome you with praise. We welcome you with praise. Almighty God of love, be welcomed in this place. We welcome you with praise. We welcome you with praise. Almighty God of love, be welcomed in this place. Let every heart adore, let every soul awake. Almighty God of love, be welcomed in this place. We welcome you with praise. We welcome you with praise. Almighty God of love, be welcomed in this place. We welcome your praise. We welcome you with praise. We welcome you with praise. Almighty God of love, be welcomed in this place. We welcome you with praise. We welcome you with praise. Almighty God of love, be welcomed in this place. Let every heart adore, let every soul awake. Almighty God of love, be welcomed in this place. We welcome you with praise. We welcome you with praise. Almighty God of love, be welcomed in this place. We bow our hearts. We bow our hearts. We bend our knees. Oh Spirit, come make us humble. We turn our eyes from evil things. Oh Lord, we cast down our idols. Give us clean hands. Give us pure hearts. Let us not lift our souls to another. Give us clean hands. Give us pure hearts. Let us not lift our souls to another. Oh God, let us be a generation that seeks your face. us not lift our souls to another. Give us clean hands and give us pure hearts. Let us not lift our souls to another. Oh God, let us be a generation that seeks your face. Oh God of Jacob. Oh God, let us be a generation that seeks your face. Oh God of Jacob. Oh God of Jacob.
Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. So now let's invite up with a lovely round of applause our sister Tina Coombs for our message.
Good morning. It's maybe a surprise for you to see me here, isn't it? It's not. Sorry? Grüß Gott. Danke. That's right, thank you. And it's really nice. It's like I'm coming home. Because actually we were living here, isn't it, Marshall? You remember that time? Thank you. It's lovely to be here. And thank you, Miti, for giving me the nice opportunity to give a message today. Okay, I chose as the topic benevolence, not violence. And did it for a special reason, as you maybe will see from my presentation. I read somewhat and then also I speak, about different things. So I would like to start off with reading first of all. So this title has been in my thoughts for quite some time, because if you look at our country and what is happening in our cities now, I often feel quite sad. It really is quite extreme, don't you think so, what's going on nowadays? We are confronted with so much violence every day. The newspapers are full of it, and so many tragic deaths caused by violent behavior. And of course, it is not only limited to the UK, but it is an international problem. However, no one is happy to live in a world where there is so much violence. Nobody is happy. Let's have a look at our Father's words at the beginning now. He says, "All people living in today's world are groaning in the whirlpool of confusion." If the question were posed, what is your hope? The reply would be that it is the establishment of a world of oneness, of peace, and unification. This would be the common response of any person living on earth. So, in fact, to start with, I would like to say that there are scientific studies today which have demonstrated that human beings under normal circumstances are not prepared to cause pain to somebody else. Some new research findings, actually especially since the 60s, is quite amazing. If you research about that, you find interesting things. So these new research findings speak of the so-called C idea. Not egoism, but rather C for communication and for cooperation, meaning that talking to each other and cooperating have allowed us to progress. The modern neurobiology has delivered us some astounding facts on this subject. It has established that there is a motivation system in the middle brain, which is connected with many other regions of our brain via nerves, in particular the emotion centers. If the motivation system is active, then the messenger hormone dopamine is released, which triggers a feeling of well-being. The person is put in a condition of concentration and readiness to act positively, both mentally and physically. So when does our inner motivation system that everybody has release these messengers? The discovery of the why, when, and what for was astounding also for scientists. The natural goals of the body's human motivation systems are social community and successful relationships with other people. This means that the core motivation is what we call in the divine principle give and take action, appreciation, and devotion between people. Therefore, we are beings who naturally tend towards social resonance and cooperation. And a most important, significant aspect in all of this is the experience of love, both of giving and receiving. Another messenger is called oxytocin, and it helps us to recognize people again and enter into permanent, lasting relationships. And it helps us to be ready to express and increase our trust in someone, in people. So people with whom we have had a good experience activate our motivation system. This gives rise to the desire for more interaction and connection. It's quite good, isn't it? If you remember, with whom did you have a good experience? I had with Marshall when we were working together with RYS a long time ago, and with many of you, especially Mitty nowadays, because working with the Women's Federation with her. So, good communication and cooperation are therefore the basis for benevolence, for our desire to do good to others rather than reject, hurt them, or act violence. Therefore, I wanted to call it benevolence, not violence. So this short venture into science has shown us how realistic our efforts are to bring peace to the world. Because sometimes, I'm sure you ask yourself as well, and you really think, is it really possible that eventually there will be a peaceful world where everybody is acting according to their original and good mind, and there will be no harm and no violence? Do we really believe that it will happen? That's quite a reasonable question, isn't it? But it's then, we are not some kind of unrealistic dreamers. Peace is an intrinsic part in every human being. So fighting for positions and scrambling for authority hasn't made anyone happy. But if we learn to act according to the natural qualities in us, then we truly experience that the best medicine for us is acting benevolently, communicating, and cooperating with other people. So aggression is neither the purpose nor our fate. The purpose of a person is to find effective, supportive relationships, to keep them safe and to protect them. Anyone who wishes to motivate another person in a lasting way must give him the opportunity to cooperate with others and to develop relationships. And now I would like to remind you on an exceptional decade of promoting benevolence and not violence. I'm sure you remember, and especially in our Women's Federation, we remember that in July 1997, there were Nobel Prize winners who signed a call to the United Nations to declare the year 2000 as a year for promoting nonviolence, and the years from 2001 to 2010 as the decade of a culture of peace and nonviolence for the benefit of the children of the world. Do you remember that? So the Manifesto 2000 established the basic ideas underpinning this culture for the people worldwide. And the manifesto states following. I'm sorry, can I take my jacket off? It's so hot. Thank you very much. Thank you. So the manifesto states following. Because I'm aware of my share of responsibility for the future of humanity, in particular to the children of today and tomorrow, I pledge in my daily life, in my family, my work, my community, my country, my region to observe the following basic principles. And there are 6 principles pointed out. The first is respect for the dignity of each human being. I will respect the life and dignity of each human being without discrimination or prejudice. Second, nonviolent conflict resolution. I will practice active nonviolence, rejecting violence in all its forms, may it be physical, sexual, psychological, economic, or social, in particular towards the most deprived and vulnerable, such as children and adolescents. The third one is about solidarity. I will share my time and material resources in the spirit of generosity to put an end to exclusion, injustice, and political and economic oppression. The fourth is about civil courage and readiness to enter into dialogue. I will defend freedom of expression and cultural diversity, giving preference always to dialogue and listening without engaging in fanaticism, defamation, and the rejection of others. Next is about sustainable development. I will promote consumer behavior that is responsible and development practices that respect all forms of life and preserve the balance of nature on the planet. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And the last one is about democratic involvement. I will contribute to the development of my community with the full participation of women and respect for democratic principles in order to create together new forms of solidarity. So in short, the 6 points are declaring respect every life, negate violence, share with others, listen in order to understand, protect our planet, discover further solidarity. But in reality, somehow it seems that we have forgotten what we declared and supported in this decade from 2000 to 2010. It has moved somewhat into the background, even on the UN agenda. They don't talk so much about it, do they, Mitty? Yet, without establishing a culture of peace in our hearts, in our families, societies, and countries, we will leave a world of trouble for our descendants. Let us reflect together on the meaning of culture of peace. What is a culture of peace? Without defining it clearly, we cannot know the direction we are heading for, what we wish to achieve, and what we wish to prepare for our children. So again, I would like to read the UN declaration for this decade. It says, a culture of peace is characterized by values, attitudes, and behavior patterns which reflect social interaction and promote willingness to share based on the principles of freedom, justice, democracy, human rights, tolerance, and solidarity. That's a lot of words, isn't it? It's a good definition, but it's somehow not really completely clear. It's not clear enough, really. However, it isn't easy to define it, as we have never experienced a true culture of peace. But if we can imagine this world and describe it in concrete terms, then we will find also the way to get there. Let's go back to our true father, Father Moon. He has spoken countless times concerning the achievement of a culture of peace, which for him is always connected with a culture of heart and therefore of true love. So, for example, he said, the sun, the moon, and the stars never rest. They are in constant motion, marking the days. The purpose of moving forward is for the sake of a world of hope, love, peace, and happiness. You should know that there is no peace and happiness without love. You have to know why love is so precious. In true love, we find collective responsibility and collective relationships. Bringing the world into unity cannot be done with great power or great knowledge. It can only be done with love. What is united through force, it will divide again when the force no longer exists. However, what has been united through sacrificial love never breaks, but is strong and lasting. And now, I would like to read another definition, which I found amazing. It's from a Russian novelist. His name is Maxim Gorky. Anybody knows him? Okay, good. He was a communist, but he was really an idealistic communist. He really thought that communism will bring, like they say, the peace and the kingdom of heaven on earth, or the paradise for everybody. he believed it. He wasn't idealistic. But when he saw what was going on, he obviously had many doubts, and then he struggled a lot. But this was a description which is amazing, if you would like to listen to that. He says, "The time will come, I know, when all mankind will be able to find peace with his neighbor, when everyone will be a star to the other, and everyone will listen to his friend as he does to music. Free people will walk the earth, human beings, great in their freedom. They will go forth with open hearts, and the heart of every individual will be free of greed and envy. So the whole of mankind will be without malice. Nothing will exist which could separate the heart from the head. The life of people will be of great kindness. Life will increase immeasurably, since free people can reach the greatest heights. We will live then in truth, freedom, and beauty, and those who embrace the world with their hearts the most, those who love mankind the deepest, will be seen as the best, in whom lies the greatest beauty. Life will be magnificent, and magnificent will be the people who lead this life." Isn't that amazing? He wrote this in those days. It's from a novel that he wrote called The Mother. It's called The Mother. So it really is a beautiful description for a culture of peace as well. People find joy with each other. Everyone will be a star for everyone else. And he listens to his friends like he listened to music. You know how you listen to music? You really absorb it, isn't it? You enjoy it. And you enjoy listening to your friends like that. So this world will be free of the friend-enemy thinking. Actually, recently, Mother mentioned that, didn't she? I saw one clips where she said, blessed families, there is no more friend-enemy thinking because we are a family. We are brothers and sisters. We are, there is no friend-enemy thinking with anybody. So everybody will be able to find joy with the other one and establish an internal bond with people. And sometimes you feel drawn to people whom you have not met before, and a conversation starts up without any great effort. Did you experience that sometimes with people? I'm sure you did. And I just want to tell you just briefly, recently we had many birthdays in our family. First Julia in August, and then Isabel. Today is actually Rebecca's birthday, our eldest girl. And anyway, I was in Costco to buy a few things, yeah? And I was just going through looking through the things which I need. And then there was one lady, and she looked at me and she said, and she started to talk about this product that she was looking at, yeah? She bought something for her home, some candles, those nice smelly candles. And then I started to talk to her because she looked at me like that, So I started to talk to her. And we talked like we would know each other for a long time. And she also was so surprised. She was so free to talk with me. And so I said, I think we should exchange phone numbers, shouldn't we? So we exchanged phone numbers. And then interesting is that her name is Rebecca Cook. And when she said Rebecca Koo, I thought, oh my gosh, her name is Coombs, but no. My daughter is Rebecca Coombs, yeah? But she is called Rebecca Cook. So we had a laugh, and we exchanged phone numbers, and she's going in a few days' time for a month to the West Indies because her mom is there. And she's coming back just before, and I told her about the speech contest on 5th of October here, Women's Federation speech contest for young women, which is really very good, actually. I would like to invite you already now to come on 5th of October, right, Mitty? So I told her about that. I said I would send her the information, and she said, oh, good. I'm just coming back on time because she's coming back at the end of September. Then she can come to the speech contest. But that was just a nice example. It was kind of so natural. She has something special. Sometimes you just click with people, isn't it? And then I always want to connect them with some of our activities, either Women's Federation or UPF if it is a man, or Family Federation. It's good. So anyway, coming back to this. So Gorky said that everyone is a star for somebody else. This means there is a light to be seen in every person, the inner beauty, the uniqueness of each person. And so this is all not just tolerance. This is like opening your heart and giving access to your heart. The friendships that we make is a result of showing appreciation, and from there the desire grows to really come closer and do something together, work together, cooperate together. That is a true spirituality. So once more, when Gorky said that he speaks of people to be free of greed and envy, we can truly be free when we let go of our anger, the frustration we have sometimes, the fear, and then our natural heart, our warmth, our compassion, love, and benevolence can blossom, can bloom. And that makes us indeed co-creators of the culture of peace, the culture of heart. This value system of this benevolent culture of peace is very different from the one that we currently see in our society. And this sentence, when in Gorky's description, the people who will be seen as the best will be those who embrace the world with their hearts the most, those who love mankind the deepest. In them, it is possible to find the greatest beauty. And that is absolutely a description for our true parents. Don't you think so? Father and mother just embrace the world completely. It's a very good description for our true father and mother, but it is destined to be for each one of us. So then we can really enjoy relationships, and we live together as a global family, one family under God. And also our trust will grow, not only between two people, but between whole groups of people. Trust will be restored. Trust is so crucial. And then there will be the same opportunities, the same possibilities for all family members of the human family, wherever we live, in Europe, Africa, Asia, South America, anywhere. The opportunities and possibilities for everyone will be the same when we have this kind of culture. Then truly the world will become a true home country for all people, a home country in which people feel good, they feel respected, cared for, and in which they can develop themselves, develop their full potential for the benefit of all. Then all of us in the different cultures, nationalities, races, religions, we will live together in friendship and in love. And that is truly the culture of peace and heart. So do you think this is possible? Or do you think it's impossible? Do you think it's impossible? No, very good, thank you. No, anything that is, anything that the mind of man can conceive, he can achieve. We heard that before, isn't it? But it's very true. Where does our imagination come from? It comes from our innermost being. Our visions are the beginning of reality. True Mother understands this very clearly, and thus she is insisting through the Vision 2020 that we can, and indeed we will, make real our vision of a peaceful, ideal world. So let's unite with our True Mother and with each other. So I would like to ask, as we go our different ways home, let us really ponder about this culture of peace and culture of heart and love, and take opportunities, find opportunities which life presents to us to advance this culture of peace that has been declared from 2000 to 2010. It was official in the UN, declared, but let us kind of bring it more into the forefront again and find ways, opportunities, maybe little projects that we can bring up this again, the culture of peace. And I would have loved to find a project which can be done under the title, like I made, the title of benevolence, not violence. There are different opportunities, I'm sure, in our communities where we live. Some service project. If you have some idea, I would like to ask you to get in touch. If you have some idea what is in your area, or you saw this or opportunity, and you could initiate something, then let's talk about it, because it's all about talking together, communicating, connecting, collaborating, and then we can really build up more and more. Bridge of Peace, yes. Okay, yeah, that's our Women's Federation project, isn't it? That's right, we have to make maybe an alumni meeting of all the Bridge of Peace participants. That would be good, yeah. So, I just want to say that benevolence, not violence, is the way to go. And through that, we can be guaranteed to build a beautiful future for our children and the future generations. Thank you. I have here some handouts that I would like to give. I copied it, I don't know how many times. But there are quite a few. If you would like, please have one. If there are not enough, maybe we can make some copies downstairs, or we can share it somehow. Yeah? Or you put it at the back. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you, Kieran. Thank you. That's very good. And I would like to ask you now if we can hold hands and then pray together. Stand and hold hands and pray together. For the first time, such an unconditional true love into this world. Unfortunately, he could not really gain enough people to understand his heart, to resonate with his heart. And he had to go a very painful, sacrificial way of the cross. And we thank you that you really continue to work to find our true Father, who really was searching for you deeply and understood your heart and committed himself completely to ending your pain, your suffering, to ending to see your children suffer under the harm that we do to one another. Our true Father he was devoted for it. Sleeping literally every night only a few hours. We cannot imagine the indemnity that he paid, the offerings that he did for all of us. We're so deeply grateful for that and humbled. And we thank you that our true Mother is completely united with our true Father. And we thank you that she is with us in this world still. And that we can, uniting with her and with one another, with our true Father in spirit world, we can really increase benevolence and end the violence that is common still in this society and world today. But we have so much hope, and we thank you again. And we pray that you may really be with each one, and you are with each one. As we know, you are inside of us. You are longing for us to relate to you and to relate to one another with true love. As your sons and daughters, as husbands and wives, as parents and children, as brothers and sisters. We thank you now and thank you so deeply. We offer our love and our gratitude and our prayers to you. And I report this together with my brothers and sisters here. In my name, Tina Coombs, for Blessed Central Family. Aju. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Elder Sister Tina, for such an amazing message. I really believe a personal takeaway for me was listening to people as if listening to music. I really felt that that really spoke to me, because I always feel like one major problem which always creates conflict is always the lack of understanding or the misunderstanding we have between people. So if we really try to listen to people as if listening to music, really trying to understand them or even be moved by them, then we can really help to create this peaceful world that Tina was talking about. So let's now have a few moments of reflection and meditation before moving on to our offering song. Thank you.
Please rise for our offering song, Song of Victory. Sing hosannas evermore, sing of glory evermore, for the Lord has come again. Sing hosannas evermore, heaven dances at the sound of his angels world around. All creation joining in dances at the joyful sound. See the new Jerusalem coming down upon the earth. Soon the day is here at last. Now the Lord is come at last. Brightly burn a fire of faith, burn so brightly everywhere. Light of hope burns today, kindling every faithful heart.
Please join me in offering prayer. Beloved Heavenly Parent, true parents. Beloved Heavenly Parent, true parents, thank you so much for this time we could gather together as family members, brothers and sisters, to be here with you, to share in your love, and to really receive guidance through the words of our Auntie Tina Coombs. We are so grateful for your words today. We pray that as we go forwards, we can remember them and apply them throughout our week. We thank you for giving us this time to offer to you our hard-earned the funds we're able to raise during this past week. I pray that you can bless this offering that we present to you now. Thank you so much, and I pray it can be put to good use. I brought this prayer on behalf of my family members here. In my name, Jonathan Hoyt of the Hoyt family, a blessed central family, our Jew.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. So yeah, here ends our service for today. Oh, I know. But not to worry, we have, thank you guys. But not to worry, we have fellowship now, right? So we get to continue on our conversations, continue on talking and saying hello to each other and continuing our conversations that we started at the very beginning when we said hello and good morning to each other. But first of all, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you, Tina, for such a lovely message. Let's give her one more round of applause, everybody. I want to also say thank you to the band for doing such an amazing job of giving us such beautiful music. Thank you, guys. Thank you to Joseph and Raymond at the back for always making sure you can hear me and hear the music and hear the message and also recording. So please give them a round of applause. And also thank you, audience, for coming and also, making this service a service, because without you guys, who are we here to serve, right? So thank you so much for you guys as well. Thank you for coming. And one more group of people would like to say hello and thank you to. So if we could all turn towards the camera at the back. We would like to wave and say hello to our internet audience. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. So thank you so much, everybody, and please enjoy your lovely week ahead. God bless, and have a lovely day. Thank you very much. We have one quick message from Marshall. So we also have a sort of short meeting, an open meeting, to meet with the committee members that are here today. So that is Uncle Marshall, Auntie Mitty, and me. So that is from what time to? Between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So if you would like to sort of come in and have a chat with us, talk to us about any concerns or any issues, or just you want to know what's going on, please feel free to come along. Yes, so thank you very much, everybody. Have a lovely day. Thank you. Sorry? I believe there is, but I'm not fully sure. Sorry, curry rice. Awesome, lovely curry rice. Awesome, okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a lovely day.